What now?
Well, hello there. Um, yeah, today we're gonna work on the talent tree. I want to get this in order. Right now I'm kind of checking out what is like completely broken of the thing. This is the first set that we have. Um, this I have no idea what this is, but we can hover over things. Um, we can't put points in yet, so we're gonna build XP hopefully today. There's a couple of things I want to do today. Um, I want to include XP, so whenever you play the video game, you should gain XP to put into your talents. Um, so XP is one. The tool I want to move the tooltip to my mouse. Right now it's in the top left, so we're gonna move that to the mouse. And then we're gonna apply the talents, and then we could say we have the very first version of this thing, right? So that's kind of the plan for today. What we're gonna work on. Once that is done, I want to do another little thing for a bit, which is I want to work on the UI. So the background of the UI that we use is always the same. Um, because right now it's not very uniform. Like right now we have a light edge and a dark center. But then if you look at this, we have a dark around and it's no longer see-through. We have a dark border with light inside. I don't know what. Let's see what this is. This is opaque again, so it's dark outside, dark outside, bright inside. Um, I want to work on some tooltips of this. So if you hover over range, because we have like a couple of calculations running on range, so I want to show that to the player. That is something that needs to change. So yeah, a couple like to clean up tooltips, basic. Yeah, we're gonna clean up tooltips. Anyway, first, the talent tree. Um, we create the widget and all. So let's figure this out. Uh, do, 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 do. So if we go into the talent tree, we already have a show tooltip function. Hmm. So apparently set view position doesn't work. So we want to get, where's the tooltip there? Then we want to say um, slot as canvas slot, I guess. Right, get the slot. Sure. The position. And hopefully this one, but I need to check if that is properly done. Huh. Okay, so that seems to be working now. Ooh, why is it doing that? Why is it doing this? Oh, that's what happens whenever I hover over the node itself. Um, okay, so now that's not really working anymore. Or the jittery thing is gone now. Okay, no, that is done. Um, mm, mm, mm. So right now, either we work on XP or this will actually work on the XP, right? Makes sense. Because if we can't spend, then it's going to be quite difficult. But then the real question is, how are you going to do it? Are we going to do it per wave? Or per enemy? Or when the run ends, or you lose, you win? There's not really a win, lose, win solution right now. Right now, the game is just endless. Um, hmm. I think we should do it per wave, and then create it a table or something, or a calculation of like how we're gonna tackle that. I think for now we're just gonna do per wave completed, but at the end, like, I want to add something in as well where if you reach, let's say, wave 20 or 30 or 40, um, the game just says, this is it. This is where we cap. You can continue to play if you want to, like just try around, try different builds. But I think that's where we snapshot as well of like how many resources do you have at this given point. Based off that, we also give you some stuff. Uh, yeah, I think that could be cool. Also, like capping certain points would be cool. Like if the POIs come back every time you pick a POI, that is going to give you something. Um, every time you kill boss, probably. So there's multiple things. Do we have a save system for the talents already? I do not think we do. No. So we're gonna make a save game. BP. Alright. save game, talent, meta progression. No, we just call it talent 3. Yeah. The big question is, and this is kind of where it becomes tricky, do we just have a talent XP pool, right? And then you get to spend your XP on the tree? Or do we have different tiers of XP? So with that, we're gonna try and push the player forward to push further. Because the early levels, of course, are gonna be easy. And then from, let's say, you get common XP or common gems or whatever, you get a common resource to spend on your talents. And that can be spent on the early talents that you have. Then after, between, let's say, wave 10 and 20, those talent points become like uncommon or rare, right? And then those can be spent into the next layer of talents. And then after the 20 to 30, we get another talent. And in that way, we can kind of scale it up. And you cannot just spam the first 10 waves to get all of the talents. No, you kind of have to try and push yourself through the game, trying to get to the later levels in order to get that. Of course, I was already thinking of having different difficulties within the game. I had a couple written down. Let me check if I can find them. Actually, we're gonna look here. Um, uh, I'm not quite sure if I know where to put this. Yeah, here. I was calling them like game modifiers or artifacts or whatever. But you had like things where enemies cannot be slowed or frozen, right? So that's going to be quite difficult. Chained enemies, which could be like to reduce difficulty in the game, which would mean all enemies are now slowed by 20%. I have Pandora's box. All enemies now have affixes assigned to them. Like every single enemy has an affix now. Echo, where you just get double the amount of enemies every wave. But maybe also double resources. Relentless would be kind of like your hard mode difficulty of like this is kind of how the game should be played, where there's no pause between waves. And it just keeps going. The only pause you would have is when you're building. So that could be a cool thing. I also had half blood prints of price, and then within brackets at the end. The base no longer has health, but it shares that with food. So you can get more food. Which would increase the health of your base, right? But every time you take damage, you also lose food. But you also use food, of course, to build your towers. So it's like, okay, I can go kind of glass cannon, a glass cannon build. You could even call it a glass cannon in that sense. But that would mean you spend your food to get more damage, and with more damage, you should never be attacked, right? Like, hey, kill them before they can even look at me, type of attitude. So that is also something we could play around with. And then of course, we'll come up with more. But I was thinking of like game modifiers like that as well. So that is something we need to take into account. So yeah. The only difficult thing that I have right now is the player going to be able to re-roll their talent tree or not? And also, can they just take out points in one out of one thing and put it in the other thing? Can they eventually get the entire skill tree unlocked? I find that a bit difficult. I kind of like the idea that you're able to almost unlock everything. Um, maybe it's gonna be one of those things of like the first time you unlock, like, kill a boss, for example. You have your level 10, 20, 30, 40 boss, let's say. And every time you kill the boss for the first time, now you unlock the next section of talents. Maybe that is the better way to do it. Um, yeah. Um, Also, the question is, am I gonna be a cuck like Pavexel, where you take XP out? You you need a resource to take XP out, or is it gonna be free and you can just swap things around? I think it's just gonna be more free of like, you can swap things around when however you want. I think that's more fun. It also encourages more experimentation in this game. One of the core things for me that I want to give to the players is the idea of experimentation. Like you take some points out of this, put it in that. Try to make a build out of the tree, and that requires, I think, a lot of experimentation. And I don't want to punish the player for experimenting. I think experimentation really stands at the core of this game. Um, I think that shows with like the gems that we have. Um, the base towers, of course, and also just the repeated runs of like the roguelike nature. So yeah, I want to encourage the player to experiment. um so yeah. We need to keep that in mind as well. Also, the amount of XP the player gets, I think, should almost be exponential. Or at least it should be a steep curve, a steep line, where you get very little at the start. If you just beat the first 5 waves, for example, you should maybe be able to unlock 1 talent node. But if you do the first 10, you should be able to maybe unlock 3. You know, so it should be increasing rapidly. Okay, give me a moment and then we'll go think about it. Yeah. Okay. Let's continue. I mean, this I find this hard, a bit hard. This is difficult. Okay. We're actually gonna move the save game over to C++. Otherwise, we cannot access this data in C++. I don't like that it works that way though, but oh well. Talent save. Oh, we already have one. Hold up. This is probably a while ago then that I did that. Because we need to save the point somewhere, right? Also, we need to think about cheat engine. Do we want to try and counter that? There are ways to counter that to an extent. Because there's just multiple points where we can set like a value. And then we can also calculate of like how many waves have you defeated and then kind of go from there. So I can kind of set up like a backwards system where it can also just say, you know, your data is not corrupt. Yeah. So we can actually tackle that. Sure. So, oh. Okay, did this load? Yes. Talent save game. Talent save game. Okay, we got this in place at least. I mean, these don't really matter either. Yeah, here it is. We already save and load this stuff. Load or create. And then we need to start and try, building something around this. Okay. So let's turn this Unreal off. And then build. Okay. That's built now. Sorry, I was just thinking of like how to counter cheat engine if I even want to bother with that. We need to go to the wave controller. And then it's nothing there. Wait, where is it? It's one of these. Spawn director maybe? No. Game master, that's the one. Should be the one. Probably isn't. Wait, which one is it? No. That's BOI's run manager. Yes, I think this is it. Okay. So here we enter the build phase. So yeah. You know, we generate capture options. Yeah, this is all old now. But yeah, here we have phase control. Maybe it's not. Actually, no, because we go back and forth, right? It's between the decision phase and then build phase, because not after every tile we of course build. So this is not where it should go. Let's have a look. Maybe in the spawn director. Let me check. I think the spawn director was checking whenever. Yeah, here, wave completed. When a wave is completed, we plus that, trigger the effects. And this basically makes it ping pong between the two. So we're gonna put it in between here. Actually, it's on wave completed, so we put it in here. Here. Yeah, so we get save game. Save game. Mm-hmm. Load or create. There we go. This gives me the save game reference. And then add way get wave. Wave. Hmm. Wave. Yeah, it's here, see? We also have universal faction and There we go. Okay. Odd. Very odd. Um. Get wave. Can I do that? It's probably better. Then we do spawn director. And then get wave. Current wave ID. Not sure if it's gonna work like this, but because, you know. Oh yeah, here. Plus is first, and then it triggers that. Okay, yeah, it should be fine, should be fine. And then we return this. And this function can be a pure function. And then why were we building it? Not in here, at least. Here. Get current wave. Get wave ID. There we go. And then we get this, and we divide it by 2. And now I have a very slow increment of like how much you're gonna get. Actually, we can just do it like that as well. So, because it says wave number here, so there it is. And then we do save. I guess. That's probably better. Oh, like that. So let's rehook up all of this. Okay, this one seems fine now. And we need to make a debug command for this, which is going to be in the cheat manager, which is give talent points. Or give, let's call it give XP. I'm going to be shorter, give EXP. And then, yeah, exactly. Boom. This will actually be slightly wrong because the calculation is done elsewhere. Column did not recognize. Give EXP. Player cheated 10 XP. We go in here. Because this works, I think. And then what we want to do as well is whenever we right click, here, clicked. If it's right click, we want to remove one. Okay. Feeling a bit drowsy today. So we want to get this, and we want to show, what's this? Oh, that's a search thing. I see, I see. Text. Okay, never mind. No, we'll add some text, and then in the text block will just be that or something. We want like a box here. We'll do it like this for now, which we call talent points. Talent points. Actually, let's get a bit more clear. For real. Zo. Oh dear. Oh dear. Refresh points display. So. Get available points. And then we get the, where is it? That one. Set text. There we go. Okay. We want to call this here. Refresh points display. Or, yeah, exactly. In here, and then we do behind here. Where do we get this? And then refresh points display. Like that. Let's see if it's even fired. No. One mouse button down. No. One. so this one can be removed. Update hover. Okay. Right now we have 4 points, but where are those 4 points coming from? So, yeah, we trigger this. So now we should have more points? No. It's very hard to click now. Look, if I left click here, I think this thing is now eating up everything. Yep, it is. Um, so, and then on the HUD, whenever we press this, and hopefully this should not eat up everything anymore. No, wait. I don't know, but I only know a very ugly way of like fixing the fact to not click through, which is just make the entire thing a button. I don't know how else to fix it because I keep clicking through it and all. So I tend to do this where we just make it into a giant button. And now you can't click through it anymore. Oh, now everything's in the middle. Fuck yeah. Um, ah, that fixes it. Look. So now whenever I'm in the tree, I can't click on the things behind there, right? The button actually has a little bit of padding. Or is it the canvas panel? The canvas panel has it. So now the padding is gone. Yeah, now we can't click through it. See? We can do this. We can close it again. We can build, place. You know, all of this is fine. Now we can spend. Oh, this system's smart. This system is smart. So whenever this is the other way, the wrong way around as well, though. I'll fix that later. Also, it's very hard to see right now. Um, right now, I need to spend 3 points in kindling in order to get hot spark. Right, that's how it works. But if I remove one out of kindling, it automatically removes it out of hot spark as well. So with that should probably create a chain reaction. I can't spend points into this. It's weird. Yeah, and then soon we have to think of like what are cool talents and stuff. If anyone has an idea, let me know. Mm. Right now, 4 points. If I defeat like the second wave or something, I should get a point, I think. Oh, that's not. Oh shit. Okay, that needs to be fixed as well. Yeah, see, we now have 5 points. After this wave, we should have 6 or 7. None. Hmm. Maybe if I place this? No. What the hell is that? As you can see, like, I do way too much damage still. Or, yeah, too much damage. That's a boss, I think. Yeah, that's the boss. Oh, there's another boss. See, now, so we have... It has Fortify and Vitality and a shield. I actually think that's kind of nice. I mean, the towers are still a little bit overpowered, but... You know, with everything that it has, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I like that. So we get 2 more War Chiefs there. Wait, what if I place a tower in between here? Ah, it doesn't work. Okay. Look, so this one is not being attacked anymore, so it's health. It's regenerating now. Only the shield number is not updating. The shield itself did update. That's good. It's exactly what I want. Of course, we have fire damage as well, which is completely broken. Highest health. See? This ignite should start to do a lot of damage. It's actually not too bad. Oh, we have a spawn thing here again. Spawn error. Golden resources again. I think the Frost Tower deals too much damage as well. 5 damage, quite a lot. I think I'm gonna reduce that to like 3 or something. Because the slow itself should already be powerful enough. Yeah, right now the player is just way too powerful. We don't even have like talents with stats and stuff yet. Or like proper gems. We have not even gone to the shop. Even though I have spent a lot of gold though. In terms of like I started with 1,000, should be 100. So that of course also has an effect. Here, first legendary node. That's what it looks like now. Gives 100 gold. Damn. Damn! 60 enemy. Holy. That's a lot of swarmers. I also don't think they skill on health right now. Yeah, they don't. Okay, so we have to fix that as well. Hmm. It does fill that up. 178 tokens here. The affixes also don't really work yet. So these were the ogres, I think. Oh no, those were the shield bearers. Okay. I can't click on the star. Oh, I have a lot of issues with clicking on things now. Hmm. Like now it just works, right? Like also 42 points, by the way. I need to create a command as well to just remove points from the account. Like a reset button. Get it back. Hmm. Yeah, the talents are not going to be in anyway. But I want to know why. Like, is this the reason? So hot. Here we open it, and then in the talent tree, whenever we click close, we do this. That shouldn't matter then. Because we remove the whole widget. So it shouldn't eat anything up. Okay. Is it just because of the amount of towers I had? Still seems fine now to click on things. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Oh yeah, health scaling is not working. Probably in here. Or it's in Portal. Let's have a look. Here. Skill enemy with wave. Oh, wait. Wait. So we give the enemy struct here. Yeah. And then we just use struct instead. So we're not using this node, which should go here. In between. So, let's reduce the resources as well to like the starting resources. Which I was doing here. So we start with 6 food, 100 gold, 100 food wood. And that gives us the opportunity to, you know, let's just, I would almost want to just say, let's stack here. But I'm not going to do that. And then we get many orcs. Limited resources now. We can also still actually place one of those down. So we get some more food and wood. Okay, let's see how far we can get now and if we can kill the first boss, like first try. Because if we can still kill the first boss, the game might still be too easy. I also want to create a new catalog for the tiles, so you're not getting too many splits at the start of the game, so you can kind of make like a swiggly swoody route. Many attack speed buildings. Okay, see, they already have more health now. Can we kill it though? Gonna make this into a crit tower, I think, with some range. Range is nice. Okay, that updates correctly. This tower is now massive. Kinda wanna play something here as well to get that gold. Ooh, gobos. Oh, they fast. I don't think these last two are working yet, so we might have to fix that as well. Also, we still want to do talents for the collection hub. Was a minus. Eh? That doesn't seem right. They have more stats than that. Oh well. Ooh, when was that? Are we? Did we like mistakenly somehow get to the sweet spot? I do have to say the goblins feel a bit too powerful. Yeah, that. Wow. Okay. Very unintentionally, I think the game is should hopefully be hard enough now. Oh. Oh, that's the old thing I was using. Hmm. I'm kind of happy with the current state. I think it is ready for playtest now. And obviously we don't have the, if we hover over this, we get the tooltip and stuff. But I want to make that tooltip stuff more universal. This is clear. There's a bug with the cannon tower though. I don't like this. I don't know why that is. Has something to do with the animation. Because if we go to cannon, heavy bombs. Yeah, see, it has two modifier, and the first one is the negative one. Oh, the second one is the negative one. Okay, so it's just not showing the first one. Single. What the fuck have I done with the code here? This is wrong. Okay, that's why. Okay, we do this. Boom. And then from here, this goes in there. Now the cannon should be fixed. Yeah, see? Good. Yeah. I don't like the current tunnels on the cannon tower yet. Well, I kind of want to remake it. I do like the idea of like it can become a fire tower or a cryo tower. I do really like that. It's just that aerodynamic is fine as well. These I don't know. The fact that they have negatives on the first row, I think, is a bit too soon. And the destroying and then returning gems is not working because, but that I'm not going to do that right now because the gem system is going to be slightly reworked. Hmm. Hmm. Need to start writing down the talents that I'm actually thinking about because right now I'm just thinking a lot. Yeah, that's all for later. Talent 3 nodes. So Frost, I was thinking double the chill stack. Apply to chill stacks per hit. What else? Arrow towers gain increased critical chance. Arrow towers fire additional arrow. I like that as well. Cannon. Cannon towers. We need something for cannon towers. Gain 25% attack speed. 10% reduced damage. So it's kind of like a no-brainer, but the damage will be nerfed a little. I don't know why I constantly have that with Cannon Tower, where I want... I guess because very early on playtesting, Cannon Tower was very strong. And right now I don't want... I'm scared of making it too strong. What else? We'll get back to it, I guess. What we're gonna do now, though, because we already observed that the Frost Tower is still quite strong. I'm gonna nerf it by another 1 damage at least. I think it should feel a little bit better then. Cannon Tower does 15 damage right now. Very slow shooting speed. I need to think of like how I'm gonna portray attack speed as well. Am I gonna do like tower attacks once every this time, or this many times in a second? What is better? Like, World of Warcraft, for example, does you have a two-handed sword and it says 3.2, so every 3.2 seconds you hit your melee, right? That's for like two-handed swords in vanilla, I think. So it says 3.2. Or should it be like in other games? Let's say in shooters you have rounds per minute, right? We could do this is how many times it shoots per minute or per second. Not quite sure what I'm gonna do there. I mean, both is viable. It's just a question what fits better. Hmm. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call the stream here for now, because right now I'm very much scatterbrain. I am going to think of like how I'm gonna play the game a couple of more times, probably do a little bit of playtest with myself a bit. Then I'm gonna make a build, upload it to Steam, so at least there's something on Steam right now, and then hopefully playtest later this week, and then we'll review the playtest data probably at the end of this week. And then next week we're gonna, sit again, fix stuff, and hopefully add more things in. Like what if we would even talk about what is added for with this playtest versus last playtest. We have more enemies, right? We can see what enemies are coming right now. We don't see the FXs yet. That is in the upcoming, but not for this playtest. Also, FXs are not actually applied to all enemies or are randomly applied right now, so that needs to change. Anyway, we can see the enemies now. We have a little bit of art, of course, going on, right? We have the new ground and background, so that it's no longer gray. A good way to showcase what it used to look like. And actually, it reminds me as well, I need to update that. Um, but if we can die quickly. This is what the game used to look like without the green tile. So this was the background. So as you can see, the atmosphere is way, way different. So yeah. Actually, let's update that quickly. Main game. There we go. So we have the new dirt material. Dirt. Very, very bright. No way that's the same, right? Yeah, oh, that darker thing tone is so much better. That's a decal. That's a decal. And this is the dirt that I'm using. Okay. Yeah, we have that set now. So if you play in this level, ooh, why does it do that? It's a little bit slanted. Where's player start? Player start. See? We already have feels a bit better. Then this needs to come from that side. Directional lighting. And then we do 0.3, 4, 0.4, let's say. Why does it do that? I might need to look into level streaming as well. Because right now this is not it. Right, it is just because I've been playing around in this level. This is where the atmosphere like exists. Doesn't matter. Ow. Oh, hey, Royce. Let's see. Man. Okay, so we have no testing environment. We probably just want to move. Oh, we want to move all of this in there. How do we do that? Levels, maybe? Okay. Then we do this. Then we... Oh. We put it all in there. Attach to? No. Level. Ok. Okay. This into clip level instance. Test, test. How does this work? Hmm. Unreal level instancing. Okay. I think I got it working. So we can now turn this on and off. So this whole thing can be moved down. Down. Okay. Same goes for this, I guess. And then we put it in here. Okay. Okay. And then the question is, so depending from where we come, we want to load or this, yes or no, right? We need to find the widgets now. Where is it? Oh god. We need main. Or is this the old main? Let's actually just check. Patch notes, yeah. Those are all patch notes as well. We need to update those. So this one is the patch. Yeah, this is it. Okay. So whenever we press new game, actually it is in here. Whenever we click this button, we want to open the POI generator now. We're just going to use the different one. And then we want the defeated page. Restart as well. This is going to be POI as well. So now we have like we can do everything in the same environment, which I think is, at least for me, is going to be cleaner. Now I can't remember what it's called. It's so old. Don't tell me it's in main HUD. I can't believe that I forgot where it is or what it's even called. There we go. End screen. So whenever we press this button, we also want to do POI. So right now, if the player loses
Or if you do it through here, yeah, you're just always in here. That those balls should also go. But is there a way to turn it on and off? Like the test environment. Um I kind of want to be able to do this with blueprints. And then I'll just make a cheat command for it. To basically show. Oh yeah, it was sub levels. Yep. Um, if it is packaged, we want to unload that. So now we can see all the BS. Okay. I'm gonna try and make a build. This gonna take a while. Um. Also, I'm not go. I obviously can't work in it. Can't work on the game anymore at that point. Um. yeah, this is cool. The level streaming thing. It's a good addition, I think. Just go in here. Doesn't have to be that big. So yeah, we're gonna call it from here. I'm gonna package it to like prepare it for packaging. And I'm gonna throw some data in an Excel sheet and see what I can do. So yeah, that is it for today. A bit of a shorter stream, but yeah, I'll be hopefully back tomorrow. Should be. Yeah. I'm back tomorrow. So yeah, that's that. See you later, guys. Tschüss.